Good evening. Welcome to our business meeting of the Cave Creek Unified School District. Today is Tuesday, March 18th, and it is 6 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our student leader, Denise Urquijo-Lara.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, item 1.3, all members of the board are here with the exception of Vice President Ulmer, and members of the cabinet that are present are Dr. Pletnick, Dr. Jensen, and Mr. Dolezal. Item 1.4, formal adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any changes? Okay, all in favor, as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Item 1.5, President's Report. Well, since the last board meeting, I attended the Business Partners Breakfast, and it's always great to see community support and chat with some of our local business people. And then we had spring break, so that was kind of it. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got a couple things here. First, if I'm not the first one to say it, I want to be out there to say congratulations to Black Mountain and Matt Owsley for their A+ School of Excellence Award, one of only 53 schools in the state of Arizona that got that. So awesome. Thank you, Matt. And on that note, I also got to spend part of Read Across America Day at Black Mountain, where my guide, Sylvia Freeman, took me to 5th grade class of Miss Jones and 6th grade class of Miss Bennett to read to them. I'm not sure exactly how thrilled they were to have 5th and 6th grade have someone reading to them. Not as much as some of the younger grades, but it was still very cool. But it was fun to do that. And then today, because you guys were on spring break last week, as was I, but I'm still on spring break. Just saying. I got to go out and visit several schools, so I got to stop by and spend some time at Black Mountain, Sonoran Trails, and Horseshoe Trails to visit and talk to the principals and see just the amazing things they're doing there. So you guys are doing awesome, so thank you for all that. So that's my stuff.
I don't have much since the last meeting, so pass it on to you.
There's so many blurs.
I know.
I was like, are we still in Girls Cheer Nationals, or did we do the, did we do Grease?
Greasy Grease?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, so I'm not wrong in this one. Am I not
Yeah.
wrong? So I can't say that. Okay, so yeah, I got to go to the Girls Cheer Nationals. I mean, obviously I got a daughter in it, so heaven forbid I went down to LA, but I got to hang out with Miss Barella, so it was a fun time. We were cheering the girls on, and they all placed this year, which is a big deal. So welcome back to that team and doing a great job. I got to go to the boys volleyball game before break. That was fun to watch the boys and the volleyball. So it's very exciting, especially trying to chase some sports complex upgrades. So it's good to kind of see the sports taking action here. And then, like I said, I hope everybody got to go see Grease. I got sucked into it like 3 times because it was phenomenal. So great job to everybody in the drama.
Item 1.7, Superintendent's Report.
President Busby, members of the board, just to follow up with some of those things, we had a great winter season, and spring is off to a fast start as well, with baseball, softball, boys volleyball, track and field all underway at Cactus Shadows, and basketball and track and field at Sonoran Trails. Our student athletes love when people come out to support them, so please check out the calendars on the various schools' websites for dates and times, and support our Stingers and Falcons as they pursue excellence out of the classroom, not just in it. Speaking of excellence, our culinary students did a fabulous job at the FCCLA competition in Tucson earlier this month. We were the only team to have every student who attended win an award. So congratulations to Chef Helm and her students. It is also my pleasure to inform you that Ashley Faust, Sonoran Trail's very own science teacher, was awarded the prestigious Compass Mentor Award from First Robotics for her robotics coaching over the last 11 years. Her students put together a submission video that showcased why she should win over all the other mentors at the state championships. So congratulations again to Ashley Faust. And lastly, I would like to introduce Denise Urquio-Lara, a sixth grader at Desert Sun Academy, who is our Student Leader of the Month and on the dais with us this evening.
Good evening. My name is Denise, and I am a sixth grade student at DSA. I would be honored to share my experiences from this school year, along with the things that I have learned in my sixth grade classroom. Sixth grade has been challenging, but Mrs. Betances has been an awesome teacher. I have learned that hard work today leads to success in the future. My experience at DSA has been wonderful. DSA has had many incredible events like the turkey trot, art performances, etc. While learning, my classmates and I have also had a lot of fun. For example, in social studies, we made the Circle of Life, a project I was fortunate enough to work on with my friends. We had a lot of fun working on this project. This project had a valuable lesson in teamwork and collaboration. When I first arrived at DSA, I was unfamiliar with the material being taught, as my previous school had not taught this content. However, over time I was able to participate in class more and eventually catch up to my classmates. At DSA, I have been able to improve and grow academically every day. I am grateful for my teacher, my friends, and my parents for helping me and encouraging me when I first arrived. Thank you to everyone who took the time to listen to my speech. Have a great evening.
Good job, Denise.
And that concludes my superintendent's report.
All right. Item 2.1 are March Students of the Month. It is with great pride that we gather to celebrate our exceptional Students of the Month. Each month, we recognize students who embody our district's core values: perseverance, leadership, compassion, and excellence. Tonight, we honor not just academic achievement, but the qualities that shape these students into well-rounded future leaders. As Maya Angelou once said, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. Our honorees have demonstrated success through passion and dedication, inspiring peers and making their families, teachers, and community proud. Whether excelling in academics, arts, athletics, or leadership, they show that greatness comes from hard work and commitment. Their achievements are the result of a strong support system, parents, teachers, and the community working together. To our honorees, congratulations, you are the best of Cave Creek Unified, and we look forward to your future contributions to the world. Now, all of the board members, we're going to come down here and we're going to call up each student individually and honor you. From Black Mountain, Scarlett Garlardo. From Desert Sun, Charlie Marks. Also from Desert Sun, Claire Mueller. From Desert Willow, Mirella Serbilek. From Lone Mountain, James Ingram. From Horseshoe Trails, Owen Corkins. From Sonoran Trails, CC Dubial. From Cactus Shadows, Jax Finch. And we'd also like to recognize the Student of the Month from Cactus Shadows for February, Layla Stroman. She was at a soccer tournament. Okay, parents, if you would like to take some pictures, this is your time. Congratulations to all of our students of the month. And we will take a short 5-minute break, so if you'd like to leave, this might be your chance. All right, moving right along here. Item 2.2, the 2023-24 audit presentation, presented by Dr. Pletnick. Okay.
President Busby, governing board members, I would like to introduce Jill Shaw, our engagement partner for our auditing firm, Heinfeld and Meach. So as you know, each year we do go through an audit process, and Ms. Shaw will go ahead and present this year's presentation.
All right. Thank you for having me here this evening. As Dr. Pletnick mentioned, my name is Jill Shaw. I'm with Heinfeld Meach, and we do the external audit for the district, an annual audit. So I have a little presentation here prepared. Before I get going, though, I really would like to thank Dr. Pletnick and Susan, everyone in the business office, for everything that they do to help us be able to do our job efficiently. They upload a lot of documents for us to review, and ends up being an extensive process. So we very much appreciate everything that they do on their end. So with that, just a little bit of summary. As I mentioned, we are the external auditors. The scope of the services that we provide are doing the audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards, government auditing standards because you are a local government, and then uniform guidance, which is the federal guidelines, and that audit is required because the district spends more than $750,000 in federal awards. In addition to that, the district is required to file the USFR, the Uniform System of Financial Records Compliance Questionnaire, on an annual basis, and that monitors compliance with state statutes and some of the things that the Auditor General's office requires that we as auditors look at. So these are the various reports that are issued as a result of the audit process. The annual comprehensive financial report is the report that includes our independent auditor's report on the financial statements. So I'm happy to report that this year we issued an unmodified opinion on those financial statements, which is also known as a clean opinion, which means that we did not find any material errors in the underlying general ledger. And so that's great news. The single audit report is the report that's required under uniform guidance because of the expenditure of those federal awards. And then, as I mentioned, the USFR compliance questionnaire is required. In addition to that, back in December when we issued the annual comprehensive financial report, we issued a communication to governance at that time, which I'll go over the details of what was in that communication tonight. Here's an audit timeline. So this is very similar to years past. We begin the audit before the fiscal year end closes. We start that in May. Then we come out and we do a lot of compliance test work in the summertime in June, that compliance with state and federal regulations. Then we come back out in October after the AFR is filed and look at the final numbers. And the audit report was issued December 9th this year. And then the single audit report was issued a couple weeks later. And then on February 6th, the Uniform System of Financial Records Compliance Questionnaire was issued to the Auditor General. So within that communication to governance, these are just a few of the highlights that were in that letter. These are items that we're required under audit standards to tell boards such as yourself in regards to the audit. There are some estimates in the audits. Primarily, the most significant estimate is pension liabilities that through the ASRS system. Those are calculated by an actuary. So very much an estimate, but also a very common estimate among Arizona school districts. I'm happy to report that we had no significant audit adjustments. So if we had, those would have resulted in significant audit findings. So I always tell boards when there's no audit adjustments and audits are reported or filed on time, those are the two biggest indicators of how well an audit went. There was one immaterial adjustment that we're required to disclose in the letter, and that is for the healthcare portion of the ASRS system. So a portion of what gets contributed is for that healthcare, and it is considered immaterial, so hasn't been recorded in years past. If we had any difficulties during the audit process, we would have been required to disclose those to you as a board, and I'm happy to report we did not. We had no disagreements with management over how to apply accounting principles, and management did provide all of the required representations. They signed the letter at the end of the audit stating that they provided us with everything that we needed in order to complete the audit process, and they've taken responsibility for the financial statements. And we, on our end, complied with all independence requirements because the report that we issued is called Independent Auditor's Report. So we take that independence very seriously to make sure that we aren't providing services that cross the line where we would be auditing our own work. So here's just some highlights of the ACFR, as we call it, the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. As I mentioned, we did issue a clean auditor's report. And then just some other pages to highlight management's discussion and analysis. It provides some background behind some of the numbers. And then the financial statements that were audited begin on page 32. Those are the government-wide and fund financial statements. And then the notes to the financial statements provide a little bit more detail behind some of the numbers as well. And then the statistical section appears at the end of this report, and that's the one section that's not audited, but a lot of boards find it interesting because it does provide a 10-year trend of data such as revenues, average daily membership, and just a good 10-year look at what's going on in the district. In the single audit report that's required because of federal regulations, each year we're required to audit which federal program we audit. This year we audited the ESSER program. As that program is coming to a close, it was still a significant amount of funding for the year ended June 30, 2024. If we had any significant audit findings, they would have appeared in this report if we had what we call material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. So it's great news that there's no findings in this report. And it also highlights that the district qualifies as a low-risk auditee in terms of federal regulations. And what that means is that the district has filed reports on time for the last 2 years with no material weaknesses identified. The Uniform System of Financial Records, the USFR Compliance Questionnaire, that's the one that highlights compliance with state statutes. So it looks at a lot of different areas that aren't always necessarily financially related, things like information technology, student attendance. It covers a lot of areas. There are a few minor things in there noted because there are about 400 questions within that questionnaire when you break it down. So it's a lot of things that we look at. So overall, great audit results. The reports met the required deadlines. The district was able to file with ASBO and GFOA for some certificate of excellence certificates that are awarded, and that has to be done by December 31st. They met the continuing bond disclosure deadline, as well as the ultimate deadline for all of these reports isn't actually for a couple of weeks. It's March 31st. There's a typo there. That should be 2025. But that's when all of these reports are required to be filed with the Auditor General's Office, ADE, the Federal Clearinghouse, and all of those filings have happened or will happen after tonight. So, meeting that deadline is a really big deal. And lastly, I just have a slide in here about a few years ago, it was added to state statute that governing boards are required to accept the audit report. You're not required to have us here as auditors present the audit, so we do appreciate that opportunity to come present the audit report and answer any questions you might have. But ultimately, management has accepted responsibility for the audit reports. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you do have about any of the reports or the audit process.
Anybody? Questions?
Well, thank you for all that work.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I do have one just basic question. You refer to material weakness. What would an example of that be?
A material weakness is a breakdown in internal control, so those checks and balances and policies that could lead to a material misstatement in the financial statements. So it doesn't mean necessarily that we found a material error, but it's a big enough breakdown where it could lead to a breakdown. So a good example is if cash hasn't been reconciled with the county treasurer, with bank account records, that is usually deemed to be a material weakness because it's such a big deal.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 3, action consent. Is there a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 4.1, call to the public. We have none. All right. Item 5, no old business. Item 6.1, acceptance of the 2023-24 single audit annual comprehensive financial report and compliance questionnaire presented by Dr. Pletnick.
President Busby, members of the Governing Board, we move that the Governing Board publicly accept the single audit annual comprehensive financial report and compliant audit questionnaire for the 2023-2024 school year by roll call vote as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Okay,
Straightforward.
we have to do a roll call vote, so I'll start down here on the end. Member Moore?
Yes.
Member Walker?
Aye.
Member Fortney?
Aye.
And I am an aye. Okay. Item 7.1, upcoming calendar events presented by Mr. Dolezal.
President Busby, members of the board, March 19th, so tomorrow night, Future Stinger Night at Sonoran Trails from 5 to 7 p.m., in particularly targeting our current fifth graders, but is open to anyone. March 21st, we have superintendents and cabinets tea and coffee at Sonoran Trails from 8 to 9. State testing has begun and continues through April. And it's never too early to talk about April 26th, Rock the District at 6 p.m. at Harold's Cave Creek Corral.
Okay. All right. Item 8, adjournment. Is there a motion?
Motion.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. We are done, and it is 6:28. All right.